So I was told for years and years what a genius Rahm Emanuel is. Oh, he's so tough, and he yells at other politicians. He only yells at people in his own party. I've never seen him yell at a Republican ever in any news story, right? He's a so-called Democrat and loves to beat up on Democrats. He thinks that makes him a tough guy. Oh, wow, you're the president's chief of staff, and you get to bully other Democrats. Oh, how bold, how very, very bold, right? And he's always the guy that was pushing for more conservative policies because he was convinced that he knows how to run things. You see, liberals or progressives or activists, oh, they're idealistic, they're not pragmatic, they don't know how to run things. Now, it's a good thing. We got to find out how Rahm Emanuel does when he actually runs something, like the city of Chicago. Now, he won his election easily. He got so much more funding than the rest of the candidates. He won with 55% of the vote, but he hadn't actually run anything yet. He just had this big reputation and a huge amount of cash. Well, he's going to be up for re-election early next year. So how's he doing? Let's check in. Emanuel's doing a better job than his predecessor, according to 1 in 5 Chicago voters. Oops, that doesn't sound good. Now, he's not running against his predecessor. Maybe he's doing better in other categories. Let's find out. 29% of Chicago voters would support Emanuel if the mayor election were held today. I got news for you, he needs 51%. He's at 29. Those are not good numbers. Okay, it's about to get worse. 50% lean towards disapproval in a different survey, by the way, now. So it's 2 different surveys confirming this. Whereas only 19% somewhat or strongly approve or lean toward approval. That's a 31% negative gap. That's a disaster. What did I tell you? He doesn't know how to run things. All he knows is how to run his mouth and act like a tough guy. He's not a tough guy. All he ever does is take the corporate money and do whatever they want. And by the way, that's part of what got him in trouble. Some things have nothing to do with that. There's a terrible crime rate, unfortunately, in Chicago. He's done nothing about it, so he's a miserable failure in that sense. But in other regards, when he tries to, bring down the pensions of workers in Chicago and then tries to shut down public schools, he does that so he can privatize education and help his corporate buddies. It turns out that's not that popular. Oh, wow, I wish somebody knew that before. But when we said things like that, Rahm Emanuel literally said, "You liberals are fucking retarded." Oops. Hey, Rahm, tell me who's the R word again? Okay, not convinced yet? I got one last fun number for you guys. Among that paltry, pathetic 19% that are approving of Rahm Emanuel, 5% are leaning that way, 12% are somewhat approving, only 2% strongly approve of the mayor's job performance. Mr. 2%. After serving the 1% throughout his career, he's down to 2%. Strongly approving. Keep going. You can go a little lower, Rahm. Who's stupid now?